Greetings. I am Daniel Monfort, and I bid you hello. I'm in Oregon, but I'm originally from Georgia. I was born and raised there, and I probably still have the accent right. I grew up in a simple childhood, mostly outdoors. There was no computers, or cell phones, even TV. Didn't really have that, but usually during my childhood there was like TV shows that I grew up watching with Mr. Ed and My Three Sons and Lassie and shows like that as a little kid. But for the most part, didn't really have any TV or anything like that. So I pretty much stayed outdoors and like sports. And I was always intrigued in that, and storytelling was always a big part because my dad would tell us these amazing tales as a kid, and he would tell us these story of the jungle story. I thought that was pretty funny, but it was part about the guy. He goes out and he's like, well, he's the king of the jungle. Unfortunately, the lion was the king of the jungle. He's like, the lion was the funniest part of the story. And him tell us about the playing stickball. So I grew up inspired by my dad and his ability to tell stories and create, but I had my own way of creating as well. But I was always inspired through my dad and his ability to draw and paint, and I also got that from my dad as well. But I was always really, really gifted in writing poetry at 4 or 5 years old. And I always would make pottery and arrows with my dad, being part Native American and part French. And so growing up, we did a lot of fishing. So we made these baskets and throw them out in the river, and we used like some cat food, and next day or so come back and there's fish. We have nice and then as a little kid I would we didn't have like the reeling rods, but we had like these cane poles, and tie a string on there and just dip it out in like a pond. And when I was a little kid, I was like, dude, I was like, okay, I'm gonna catch. So I ended up catching this catfish. I was like, wow, Dad, this is my first one I caught. So you know how much it makes me sad because I still miss my dad. There's really no words to describe losing my dad. All the beautiful moments and all the things I did with my dad, I can never forget. It's probably anybody loses a family can relate, but can always reminisce the times that I've went camping and going out and looking at old newspapers and going to this old house and just enjoy time with my dad and all the wonderful things that I learned from my dad, and making crafts and beautifully. It's They're really inspired. But among that, the hardest part is living with seizures for over 16, 17 years after the military. It's not easy, I'll be honest. Even when I work or go to school, I always find it difficult. Don't know when or what moment I'm going to go into a seizure. And black out. It truly, truly teaches you to persevere and have a strong will. And as much creative person I am, I pretty much can do pretty much anything. I find it still hard, even do all the talent that I have, to try to get through with seizures. But I've always been a person that even suffering to death, I can always never give up. That's just the type of person I am. Of course, with all the wonderful ideas and playing in kabuki and one of my favorite things is improv acting. But I always love telling stories. It's just my way of interpretation for my soul. Even when I write poems that come from my heart, you see an inner vision or inner strength that is truly beautiful. The surroundings and nature and the deep inner connection with nature and seeing the waves and water and creating a vision of seeing beyond this world to the next. Because no imagination is lost. It's being able to craft it and create it. And it's giving it life, breath, and depth. So I look forward to bringing a vision to life that inspires others as much as it inspires me. So I want to say thank you for this opportunity given, and may it always be blessed through life. We're all have an inner strength inside of us.